The fragile peace in North America was shattered as tensions between Mexico and the reunited American nations of Canada and the Republic of Texas reached a boiling point. Long-standing territorial disputes, historical grievances, and fierce competition over scarce resources fueled the animosity. Mexican President Alejandro Ramirez, a fervent nationalist, leveraged these tensions to galvanize his country, arguing that reclaiming disputed territories was a matter of national honor and survival. Political leaders and military commanders from Canada and the Republic of Texas, now working closely together, prepared to defend their hard-won peace. Newly elected Canadian Prime Minister Aidan Murphy and new Texan President Maria Santos held urgent meetings with their top generals, strategizing a defense against the looming threat. The outbreak of hostilities sent shockwaves through the populace and the international community, sparking fear of another devastating conflict on the continent. As news of the Mexican invasion spread, both Canada and the Republic of Texas swiftly mobilized their military forces. Soldiers were recalled from leave, reserves were activated, and the production of military supplies ramped up. Joint military exercises were conducted to ensure seamless coordination between the two nations. Troops from both countries trained together, sharing tactics and resources to create a formidable united front. Scenes of civilian readiness and resilience emerged as communities prepared for the coming onslaught. Volunteers gathered to support the war effort, from manufacturing munitions to organizing supply lines. In towns and cities across the reunited American nations, citizens rallied behind their defenders, their resolve steeled by the threat of invasion. The war began in earnest with fierce fighting along the border. American and Mexican forces clashed in a series of pitched battles and skirmishes, the sky filled with a roar of aerial bombardments as fighter jets from both sides engaged in dogfights. Naval engagements off the coast saw ships exchanging heavy fire, while on the ground, soldiers fought brutal, close-quarters battles for control of strategic territories. The conflict exacted a heavy toll on both military and civilian populations. Casualties mounted, and the devastation spread across the land. Cities near the border turned into war zones, with buildings reduced to rubble and streets littered with debris. Despite the chaos, the determination of the defenders did not waver. As the war dragged on, the bond between Canadian and Texan soldiers grew stronger. They fought side by side, displaying camaraderie and solidarity in the face of a common enemy. Joint military command structures were established, allowing for coordinated operations and efficient use of resources. Scenes of civilian support underscored the unity of the reunited American nations. Communities opened their homes to displaced families, organized fundraisers to support the troops, and provided logistical aid to the military. The shared struggle fostered a renewed sense of national unity and purpose. The prolonged conflict and mounting casualties forced both sides to consider a diplomatic resolution. Intense negotiations began, marked by tense exchanges and diplomatic brinkmanship. Representatives from Canada, the Republic of Texas, and Mexico sought to protect their interests while minimizing further losses. After weeks of arduous talks, a peace treaty was finally signed. The war came to an end, but not without significant concessions. As part of the agreement, the reunited American nations ceded some disputed territories to Mexico. The news was met with mixed emotions. There was relief that the bloodshed had ended, but also sorrow and anger over the loss of land. In the aftermath of the conflict, leaders and citizens reflected on the journey of reunification. The war had tested their resolve, but it had also demonstrated the strength of their unity. Prime Minister Murphy and President Santos addressed their nations, emphasizing the importance of peace and the need to learn from the past. There were celebrations of victory and resilience, but also solemn memorials for those who had sacrificed their lives. The loss of territory weighed heavily on the continental consciousness of North America, yet it also served as a reminder of the price of freedom and the importance of solidarity. As the reunited American nations looked toward the future, there was a renewed sense of determination. The scars of war would take time to heal, but the bonds forged in conflict promised a future of peace, prosperity, and cooperation. Together, they faced the challenges of a changing world, united in their commitment to building a better tomorrow.